before we lose all of our people?
Yeah. Oh, you're live. Okay, we're good.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Fun with technology. The gremlins all came out. Where did I drop off? Let's see. Let me see. Can someone on the team Slack me and let me know where I dropped off? All right. Well, I'm gonna, until
you just have to start from the beginning, Michael.
From the beginning.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I apologize for that. Like I said, this is my first time doing a live training, and apparently the technology didn't want to give me a success right off the bat. So here we go. I apologize if I repeat myself a little bit. I'm just going to kind of take it from the top because I think we never really got going here. So I've got a ton of notes to help keep me on track. But again, this is my first time doing a live training. So as you can see, it's not going to go perfectly. But let's dive right in. Interviewing these 56 industry insiders for Uncensored Crypto, there were 3 sectors that kept popping up again and again. Our guests didn't agree on a lot of things, but most of them, in fact, virtually all of them agreed on the potential of these 3 sectors. Dan Mapes, who was the founder of Silicon Valley Blockchain Society, he said it was going to be 10 to 100 times larger than the internet, and that it was unlocking a golden age for investors. And after talking with all these experts, I couldn't agree more. So, these 3 sectors are where I think the greatest potential lies for investors right now in 2022, because I think they're the next big growth sectors. And I'm far from the only one who thinks so. Actually, Kevin O'Leary says that sector 1 could be bigger than Bitcoin. Wall Street executive, or former Wall Street executive, Teeka Tiwari, said that the second one is the single biggest trend since the commercialization of the internet, and that it's a multi-trillion-dollar idea. Yahoo Finance is reporting that sector 3 is going to be a $30 trillion market in the next 10 years. And that's why the smartest investors and companies are all diving into these sectors. Companies like Facebook, Google, Apple, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Tencent, investors like Andreessen Horowitz, Mark Cuban, Cathie Woods, Peter Thiel. The people jumping into these sectors is a who's who of money makers. So if you missed a chance to get in early on Bitcoin, this is a second chance to get in on some under the radar crypto sectors that are poised to be even bigger growers in the next year than Bitcoin. And when I say under the radar, I'm talking like 99% of the people in the world have no idea that these sectors even exist, much less the coins we're going to talk about. They're kind of like Bitcoin back in 2017 when less than 1% of the world owned it. I mean, we've all imagined what it would be like if we'd had the foresight to invest in Bitcoin back then. I wouldn't mind being featured in one of these stories. One of the people who dropped, some small amount in Bitcoin and made a killing. But I didn't. However, I do believe we're at a similar point in time with the 3 sectors we're going to talk about today. I think this is the year they're going to burst onto the mainstream like Bitcoin did in 2017, when they kind of hit the public zeitgeist and people start to put money into this. And in fact, this is where I'm going to be investing a lot of my money moving forward this year. So let's see. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna share the sectors. I'm gonna give my top specific coins in each sector, and then kind of along the way, we're going to do some other things. I'm going to talk about the #1 crypto myth. This is something that is a really basic misunderstanding that keeps people from understanding the long-term potential of crypto. I'm also going to talk about the details of why I'm so bullish on these sectors, why they're important, how they're going to change the world, and why they're exciting right now. And I'm going to share the proven steps that I heard again and again from the 56 experts in Uncensored Crypto for analyzing any crypto project. Plus, we're going to announce some winners. I'm going to announce the winner of the $5,000 Easter egg contest. A lot of people got it right, but we've got the one who got it first. We've identified that person. We're going to announce it tonight. And we're going to announce some other winners from some of our contests as well on this webinar tonight. And then after all of that, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to do a question and answer session. And I'm going to try to my best to give you good intel and good info to the best of my capability. And I'll stick around until you're too tired or I'm too tired. So let's see. Oh, yeah. And as I've mentioned, I am going to name my favorite crypto. So here's what I'm going to ask you, though, to do in exchange is just give me your full attention for about the next 30 minutes or so. I've worked in the financial education industry for decades. I know how much people pay for this kind of information, but I'm not charging for it. I'm actually going to give it to you for free. So, do yourself a favor, put your phone on silent, ignore the inbox, switch off the TV, pay attention, because what I'm going to show you is going to build on the concepts in this series and kind of give you the ideas that allow you to start putting together a portfolio. And this is something you can get started with no matter where you live, how much money you have, if you've been an investor. I think that these three sectors present probably the best opportunity to generate life-changing generational wealth. And it's just going to come from being slightly ahead of the crypto curve. I know that like in any other sector, that would probably sound like a hyperbolic claim, but in crypto, we've seen it time and time again. People who get in early on a new crypto trend reap massive rewards in very short periods of time. I mean, we've talked about Bitcoin going back to 2017. If you'd have put $1,000 in, you'd be up at 35, 36,000 right now. And that's at today's suppressed prices, right? If, a few months ago, it was up 7,000%. We saw 2017 come around with the next big crypto trend was ICOs, initial coin offerings. There was a lot of hype. There were a lot of scams, a lot of frauds. A lot of those went to zero, but most of the big names today came out of that ICO craze. ARK, it returned 27,000% to early investors. These sound crazy, right? Stratus, 189,000 essentially. Returns. Ethereum is up 768,000%. Now, these are exceptional returns. Like I said, a lot of the projects went to zero. So I'm not saying that we're going to make these kind of gains. I just want you to kind of understand what we're talking about as far as the possibilities go. So in 2020 and 2021 was the rise of the stable coin. Brian Rose told me that this was all by itself was going to revolutionize finance. And that stablecoin market grew from practically zero to $125 billion last year. All right, so that's the past, right? But here we are, it's 2022. And I think the biggest opportunities, again, are in these three areas. And my goal is to give you everything you need to get into these sectors before the masses, because that's where the biggest gains are made. And honestly, this event couldn't have come at a better time for you or for us, because even before the crypto pullback, these projects were great opportunities. But now with the markets down, we actually have the chance to get in at a significant discount. I actually sent my wife a message yesterday. I was like, cryptos are on sale, 50% off. And we kind of had an inside joke, but that's the fact. It's time to maybe do some bargain shopping, right? Don't save money. Don't save 10 cents on gas. Save 50% on the next big crypto project. All right. All right. So anyways, the gist is that the macro has not changed. The long-term outlook for these sectors and the crypto market in general is the same as it was 6 months ago. If anything, we've gotten further along this path, and we're closer to seeing this technology change the world. So this stuff is coming. I'm still very bullish on crypto over the long haul. And I do think, there's my sources say that we could see a bounce, but whatever happens, I'm still bullish over the long haul. And I think these are good investment plays over the long haul. And then I guess kind of the final driver that I'll mention is that there's a lot of big money that's pouring into these crypto markets. It's going to go from a little pond to a massive ocean. And that's because up until now, all the growth in crypto was fueled by small individual investors like us. Our passion, our enthusiasm for a better financial system drove the market cap to $3 trillion last year. And to put that in context, that's larger than Apple and Microsoft. But the difference is crypto did it in 13 years, while Apple took 41 years and Microsoft took 33 years. The only tech that grew anywhere near this pace was the internet. And if you look at the growth and the adoption cycle, they're neck and neck today with where we were in the 90s. And nobody needs me to talk about how much the internet changed the world or how much money people made investing in Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, Intel, fill in the blank. I think we're at the same point in time with cryptocurrencies, and we have the opportunity to be early investors. It's no longer a fringe thing. It's no longer really this experiment. It's proven itself. It's actually proven to be one of the most important inventions we've ever had as a society, as a species. I think Dr. Martin Weiss, who actually has a doctorate in anthropology, I think the way that he put it was really good. He said, "This is one of the biggest, most revolutionary technologies in the history of mankind," and that's pretty powerful statement from someone who studied anthropology over the history of mankind. So the bottom line is, though, most people don't understand what's happening here, and it's really, I think, at the heart of it, it goes back to a simple misunderstanding, a cryptocurrency myth, if you will. And this is actually keeping billions of dollars out of crypto and millions of people who could be in it, but it's providing an opportunity for us. So with that said, it's really simple. The number one myth about cryptocurrency is that most people think all crypto is cryptocurrency, as in like an alternative to dollars, right? But that's just not the case. And if you watch the series, you know that. Most cryptos have some sort of a functional capability built into them. And these things, these functions are what are going to transform our economy. They're going to be the building blocks of the new decentralized economy, everything from communications to gaming, banking, finance, governance, art. All of it's going to be put on the blockchain, the distributed ledger technology that all cryptos run on. And cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, they're simply the tools that are going to allow us to do these things peer-to-peer without a third party in the middle. And like I said, this simple misunderstanding is keeping a lot of people out of the markets right now, because they don't understand that these are the building blocks of the economy, and that we have the chance to invest in the underlying technology that's going to fuel almost every aspect of life moving forward. It's going to be trillions of dollars in this economy. And I don't want anybody to miss out. I obviously don't want you to miss out. That's why I spent so much money and so much time creating uncensored crypto for you, not from you. I wanted to help kind of demystify cryptocurrencies, to open them up to a wider audience, make them accessible, and really highlight the game-changing impact they're going to have. So tonight, we're going to build on those foundations and start getting into the sectors that I think are going to be the hottest in 2022. So first, I'm going to show you the sectors. I'm going to share the step-by-step process I learned for analyzing a Coiner project. And then I'm going to give you my number one rec for each sector before we go into Q&A. All right, so let me pull up my notes here. This is where I'm going to lean on my notes pretty heavy. The first sector are NFTs, right? NFTs are non-fungible tokens. They're one-of-one unique digital assets, and they have become the darling of the public zeitgeist over the last several months. And for individuals, NFTs help to prove ownership of a digital asset. They are also fun. They have functions built into them that allow you to be part of a community, and they represent a really profitable way for investors to make money. I think some of the gains that I've seen that I'll share with you from like Tyler, for example, in the series, he's making somewhere around 500% every 2 weeks trading NFTs. And the fact is that massive businesses, and we saw, Nike, we saw Adidas, we're going to see more and more of these big businesses start to engage with their community and put big money into these NFT projects. And the reasons why are multiple. It gives them a 100% or almost 100% margin product they can sell. And it gives them another way to monetize existing assets. I mean, you can turn an ad into an NFT. You can create a digital duplicate of a physical item that's purchased in the real world. All of those things, the broad appeal, the cool factor, the functionality that's being built in, and the fact that they are still performing really well even in the recent crypto market downturn, makes them a pretty appealing option for 2022. Like I said, the opportunities are there for people to invest and trade, but I do want you to be aware of some of the risks that are out there, because we're talking about batches of like anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000, which are essentially small units of production. These things can be manipulated, right? You have people who are buying and selling them, doing insider trading to pump up the value. And then the second that, one of us goes out there and buys it, they do a rug pull and they're out of the market. And, they basically scammed, an unaware person out of their Ethereum or their crypto. So, and then of course, there's always the risk of the asset going to zero. That's probably the biggest risk, is financial loss. Got to be aware of that, but we are going to share, like I said, some of the analysis methodologies that the experts shared in the series in just a sec. It's going to help you avoid a lot of that risk, but just buyer beware, watch and pay attention. And, there's little things that people will do. They'll like do a knockoff of a popular NFT series and change the name slightly. And then the unaware who doesn't know that you have to check meticulous details, they don't know, and they buy the wrong NFT, and it's obviously not the same investment they thought they were getting. Let's talk about the sector. Over $23 billion in trading volume, according to Forbes, in 2021 was in the NFT space. Another source puts it at a $40 billion market in 2021, and the projected market size for the next 12 months is $80 billion. So as we see this market double in size and more of the attention and focus go onto this industry or this sector of crypto, I think we're going to see a lot of opportunity here. All right, so that said, let's go ahead and let's dive into crypto sector number 2 to watch. DeFi, decentralized finance, is huge. It's already been great, but we're just getting started. All right, so let's just do a quick recap. Right? Decentralized finance is a term that was coined back in 2018 or so, when MakerDAO became one of the first DeFi lending platforms. The goal and the big idea is that we're replacing banks and other middlemen in the financial services industry with lines of code. Like I said, this removes barriers, middlemen, the need for trust, removes centralized authorities and all the risks and dangers and biases that come with that. Why is this going to be a big thing in 2022? It's simple. It's greed. You can earn 70 to 100 times what you can with a bank on stable coins in decentralized finance. And that doesn't even get into some of the other opportunities, the capital gains on top of the yield. Just make this a really appealing sector, and it's kind of grown up into a mature enough market that the risks have been minimized in people's minds. And this is the hub of fintech innovation today, so expect big things in DeFi. Within DeFi, the opportunities are really decentralized exchanges, DEXs. There's opportunity to use these services, but there's also the opportunity to stake your coins for yield to provide liquidity. There's borrowing and lending that you can take advantage of. And your risks are just like, the other sectors. Like I said, we're going to talk about how to analyze the crypto projects, and this is going to help you to avoid a lot of the risks, but there is the loss of capital risk always. When you're yield farming, there's the risk of impermanent loss, which is, like it says, it's a not permanent loss, but you can make it permanent if you try. And then there's always the risk of frauds and rug pulls, et cetera. But these are actually a lot easier to avoid than in the NFT space, by just following the due diligence I'm going to share with you in a second. Let's look at some stats. It grew from near zero to $195 billion was the TLV, total locked value, that I saw today between 2020. Between 2020 and today, it went from zero to almost $200 billion in the space. It and NFTs grew faster than pretty much anything out there in 2021. And the prediction is that this is going to grow into $1 trillion market over the next 3 years. And some people are putting it up much higher numbers than that. All right, so big things in DeFi. Keep an eye on it. Crypto sector number 3, metaverse and gaming. I really think this may be the darling of 2022. You know, all right, why, right? So look at Minecraft. There's 100 million people who play Minecraft every month, and they like live, eat, and breathe it. They watch YouTube videos about it, right? So gaming is huge. And that's when, you know, like you're paying to play the game. With this new pay to play to earn gaming model, you can actually create an income. You can build digital assets by playing games in the metaverse that are on the blockchain. So, I mean, why is that going to take off now? Well, you know, one, like people love to play games. Like 1/3 of the people on the planet today play video games in some form or other, and they love to play games, and they probably also like to make money. So that's a pretty big driver. But not only that, but, you know, metaverse is getting a ton of attention from major corporations. We saw Facebook rename itself to Meta. You know, all of these big corporations, though, are focused on creating a metaverse experience and monetizing that. So money comes in, that creates opportunity. Play to earn gaming is well established now. It's not a novel thing. It's been around. This is a massive crypto onboarding ramp. And some of the things one of the things I think is probably the most important is that the gaming sector and cryptos in the gaming sector are not tied to economic fundamentals like inflation. So if the Fed hikes rates, if we have some events out in the broader economy, people are still going to want to play games, and they're still going to want to buy things in the games using the cryptos that are the part of that game. And then whenever you also consider the fact that you're gaining the ability to create an NFT inside of a game, maybe like a rare sword or a piece of armor, or maybe a piece like a fort that you build, those assets can now be sold on a secondary market, or they can be transferred between games. So these are really exciting developments, and they're creating a lot of opportunity in the gaming market. So let's see, 1/3 of the world population plays games. 55% of millennial gamers own crypto, as compared to 5% of all millennials. And let's see what, yeah, there's just massive demand. Market size by the end of 2021 was already 3 billion. Projected market size, and this is for gaming, my bad. Market size for gaming at the end of 2021 was 3 billion. The projected market size for gaming by 2025 is 39 billion. So we're talking about more than a 10x growth just in gaming. But the size of the metaverse at the end of 2021 was 47.6 billion, right? So that's more than 10 times the gaming space. And the projections are that it's going to grow to a $780 billion market cap by 2028. So you put those together, we're looking at $800 billion in value creation that's going to happen over the next 6 years, according to these projections, right? So those are the 3 sectors that I'm most bullish on. We've got NFTs, we've got DeFi, and we've got the metaverse and gaming, right? So I'm going to give you the picks in those sectors in just a second. But before I do, I'm going to teach you the crypto analyst checklist, right? This is my smashing together of all the best advice that I got from the experts that I interviewed in Uncensored Crypto. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about are fundamentals, right? These are the same types of fundamentals you would look at if you were going to invest in a company. Who are the founders? Who are the leaders? What is their track record? Have they ever done something like this before? Who are the investors? Who are the managers and the development team? Do they have a track record of hitting deadlines? Now we look at the product, right? What does the coin do? What problem does it solve? What's the value proposition of this specific token that makes it better than all the other solutions to that same problem? So, you know, we've got the people, we've got the product, governance. What's the governance structure? Who's calling the shots? How are changes implemented? These are things that you want to understand about a project. And just by taking a look at these things, you're going to eliminate a lot of trouble for yourself. If you're dealing with reputable people with a problem that with a product that solves the problem and has value and that's well governed, you're off to a great start. Beyond that, you want to look at the tokenomics. What's the total market cap for the project? What's the greater market size? For the gaming industry, for example, there's a certain amount of money that's in that market. How many users are currently using a project? In crypto, the community aspect of things can't be overstated. There's something called Metcalfe's law, or the network effect, that is probably the biggest contributor of value creation in these projects. So you want to understand how many users there are in the system. How are tokens being minted and issued? Is there price stability? Is there price volatility? Both have their appeals and their downsides. What sort of daily trading volume is out there? What kind of liquidity? Are you going to get stuck in a coin and not be able to exit? Or are you going to want to buy and not be able to? When it comes to DeFi, you want to look at things like, what is the total locked value? How much coin is being staked on this particular platform? And then, of course, you want to understand what type of token you're looking at. Is it a governance token? Is it a utility token? Is it a security token? Is it meant to be used as a currency? And so those are some of your tokenomics that you want to understand. And then if you're looking to time your entries, you're going to want to do some technical analysis. And this is not my strong suit. I'm actually going to get trained on this at the end of February, along with some of the people in the Uncensored Crypto Nation. We're going to jump in and learn this together. So, but I'm going to touch on some of the things that you're going to want to learn about. You're going to want to learn about the long-term trends, the short-term trends, support, resistance levels. When you do this correctly, you're going to have buy zones, you're going to have stop losses, profit-taking strategies. And again, this is if you're trying to time the market. If you're just an investor and you want a dollar cost average in, you can ignore this part of the analysis. But something that I don't think a lot of people take into account, something that I picked up from a couple of the people in this series, is sentiment analysis. Where is this project in the public zeitgeist? And the place you look for that is Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Really, those are your primary places to look. But you can also use tools like word clouds, and there are tools out there that help you identify these things. But again, like all the experts that I talked to, I don't think a single one of them didn't reference Twitter or Telegram or Discord as being a source of intel for them. All right, let me take a quick sip here. And let's dive into the picks. All right, this is what we've all been waiting for, right? My favorite NFT. So actually, because of what I mentioned earlier, NFTs are small batches, and even a few hundred or a few thousand people going and just jumping on top of a project can drive prices up and kind of create that scenario where there's a rug pull, but not intentionally. So rather than try to pick a specific NFT, my favorite NFT play is actually a platform play. It's Immutable X. So Immutable X is an Ethereum layer 2 protocol that's specifically used for NFT launches. So it's an NFT specific layer 2. It does away with limitations that Ethereum has, like low scalability, poor user experience, low liquidity, slow development process, slow speeds, high gas fees, all the things, right? It offers instant trading. So like transactions are instant, 0 gas fees for minting or trading NFTs, and high security rating as well. So this technology is built with Stark ZK rollups technology, and Vitalik Buterin says Ethereum is all in on this technology, so it's not built on some foundation that's going to be taken away any day now. The total market cap last checked was $560 million, and there are 2 trillion IMX tokens that will be created, issued, and distributed. by Digital World NFTs, which is a partner of Immutable X. The breakdown is 51.74% goes to user rewards and developer grants, 25% to project development, just under 20% token sales for public and private offerings, and then 4% will be a reserve for the foundation. It was founded by two brothers, James and Robbie Ferguson, who both have a good reputation in the industry. And they've actually raised a total of $77.4 million in funding over 3 rounds. Latest round was on September 14th, 2021. It was funded by 17 investors: Process Ventures, Galaxy Interactive, King River Capital, Bitcraft Ventures. These were all players with good track records themselves who invested into this project. So there you have it, Immutable X, my favorite play on the NFT trend. All right, moving on right into DeFi. What's my favorite DeFi project? So my favorite DeFi project is Colony Labs. So what is Colony Labs? The reason I like Colony Labs is it's not exposure to a single project. It's exposure to a lot of projects. And that's because of the way Colony Lab operates. So they have a really tight integration with the Avalanche blockchain, which is built specifically for DeFi, just like Immutable X was built for NFTs. Avalanche was built for DeFi. Colony Labs is a very tight integration with Avalanche, almost like a JV, a joint venture arrangement with them. So they're very tightly integrated. Their success is kind of mutual in a lot of respects. But they're focused on funding early stage Avalanche projects. So this is like a venture capital firm. They do the due diligence, they take equity in the projects, and this is organized as a DAO that has a stated goal of deepening liquidity and strengthening security of Avalanche network, and to capture DeFi assets acquired via funding. So, own equity in these projects. The token is CLY. It's a hybrid token that's used for both liquidity and governance, so that it aligns the interests of all parties, right? And the cool thing is they've actually got a buyback mechanism that's built in, so that they're constantly trying to buy back CLY tokens and redistribute them to the active community members. So that creates buying pressure and keeps prices theoretically high. The initial market cap was $6.6 million, based on a 40-cent price. Tokenomics total supply is 150 million. The CLY token, 70% of those have been sold or are for token sales. I'm sorry. 10% go to the team. 10% is for liquidity on the platform. Community incentives are 7%, and then they've got 3% in reserve for advisors on the project. And if you look at their site, they have like their token vesting schedule. All that stuff's publicly available. It's founded by 3 people in the crypto space with great reputations. Elie Lebrest, Jean Baptiste, I'm probably going to butcher the last name, Pavigo, and Aurelien Inden. I'm butchering your names, but based on my research, these people have a good reputation in the space and experience in traditional finance, as well as tech experience, and good project management experience, right? So they know how to get things done and hit deadlines. Colony has 9 VCs that invested in it. Avalanche was the lead investor, and it raised a total of $21 million from Avalanche, Shima Capital, Genesis Block Ventures, Bixen Ventures, Hashkey, Demo Labs, Meridian Capital, Nova Bit Capital, and Sefolio Ventures. So strong backing again. I mean, these VCs are not dumb money. They've done their homework. And so, yeah, Colony Labs gets my favorite pick for the DeFi space because it gets you exposure to multiple startups through their VC model. All right, so now we're going to circle back around to metaverse and gaming and get into my favorite pick here. So my favorite pick here is Seedify Fund. And again, this is kind of for the same reasons that I liked Colony is why I like Seedify Labs. It's a VC, venture capital / incubator / launch pad platform. So it gets you exposure to not just one game, but to a fund that gets you exposure to a lot of gaming startups and growth companies. So market cap $150 million US dollars. Token name is S Fund. It's a BEP20 token for those of you who know what that means. It's on the Binance Smart Chain. It extends the Ethereum capability. Total supply of 100 million coins. 15% are the initial circulating supply. 7% for community rewards. There's a fund pool of 6%, operating pool of 2%, a liquidity mining program for 9% of those coins. Marketing development is going to get 10% of those funds. Team and founders have 16%, and the funding pool reserves are at 50%. This company was started by Levant Kim Aden, who actually just, they've got a great reputation. He has a great reputation in the space. And unlike the other projects, though, that we've talked about, there were no VCs, no funding rounds. This was entirely funded by the community. So, that said, that it doesn't have that checkbox on its, due diligence checklist, but based on its growth and the community that's built around it and how active and passionate they are, this still qualifies as my favorite in this space. All right, so I'm just going to recap real quick. We've got my favorite NFT ecosystem play, which is Immutable X, Colony Labs for DeFi, and then we've got the Seedify Fund for exposure to gaming. And that's it. I mean, that's the 3 sectors I'm watching in 2022. That's my favorite crypto for each sector. And there you have it. However, these are just kind of the tip of the iceberg, right? So after I spent all the time with the experts in the series, I actually, like I said, came to the conclusion that these 3 sectors were the hottest. And I've spent a lot of time in the last few weeks doing a lot of research, and actually came up with 9 cryptos, 3 for each of these sectors that are, in my opinion, they're just ready to take off this year. The 3 that I've mentioned just a couple minutes ago, those are my safe bets, right? Those are things that I'm willing to, put out here on this public forum. And, they're going to do great. I think they're going to grow fabulously. There's some tremendous fundamentals in place there. However, there are 6 other cryptos that are more speculative. They're not as well established, and it does bring a degree of risk with that, but I do believe they have great upside potential. And so what I did is I put these 9 hypergrowth cryptos into a report, 9 hypergrowth cryptos for 2022. Incredibly creative title, I know. Hold your applause for the end. Inside of this report, it has the name of all 9 cryptos. It's got a detailed analysis, all the information I just shared, but broken down in even more detail. It talks about the sector, the potential, why my team, I believe these are the cryptos to watch in 2022. Just tons of intel in there. Basically, the research suggests that they're going to become dominant players, even though most people don't know they exist today. So this is the point where, in most of the financial education world, where they start to tell you that you can have this report for $1,000, right? But that's just not my thing. In fact, I'm not selling this report. It's not available to purchase at any price. I actually am giving it away exclusively to uncensored crypto insiders. So that's people who have invested in lifetime access to the docuseries. So if you're already an insider, you'll get this report in the next 48 hours. And if you're still on the fence about maybe joining the program, maybe this will help push you over the finish line and persuade you to invest a little bit in your education. So that's kind of the end of the presentation there. We do have a special offer for you. Like I said, Uncensored Crypto, we got a ton of free bonuses. I'll just run through that real quick, what's included in the package, and then we'll jump in and get some Q&A going and hopefully get to some more fun stuff. All right, so when you purchase Uncensored Crypto as part of the world premiere special offer, which it is going away this weekend, it will not be available after that. You get lifetime access to all 9 episodes. That's an obvious thing that you get, right? You get to actually watch the series on demand anytime you want. You get transcripts of every episode in case you like to read, you want to be able to do a keyword search, those kind of things. We've got audio only versions of the episodes. So if you want to, put it on an MP3 player or just throw your earbuds in and listen while you're running or whatever, there's that. There's the 10th unaired episode, or not unaired, we actually shared that we do this week, but it was a surprise. So there's that. This is kind of that actionable episode. That was the feedback that we got on Discord, especially, was like, hey, this ties everything together. It gives you the actionable intel that we've been missing. Now that we had given you the full scope and an overview of the sectors and all the space, then we were comfortable delivering that in episode 10. So you get that. This is really cool. You'll actually get all 56 full-length uncut interviews. We had to pick, anywhere from 5 to 15-minute segments from the interviews, but a lot of these interviews were anywhere from 45 minutes to 2.5 hours long. So as you can imagine, there's a ton of value that's waiting for you inside those uncut interviews. We've got crypto income secrets, right? So this is all about earning yield, up to 100 times what bank accounts are paying, 70 to 100 times, like I mentioned before. Another 3 DeFi cryptos that are on our watch list for 2022. So again, 3 other names of big opportunities inside of DeFi. 10 companies that can dominate the crypto revolution. These are actually a unique take on the crypto play. A lot of people are intimidated by the technology, and so what we did is we identified stocks, publicly traded companies that have exposure to crypto, and this provides people a way to invest in crypto without directly investing in crypto by owning these companies. So there are 10 of them. It's in this free report. You get it whenever you buy the series. We also have the 30 key takeaways. There are 30 of them, and that's just what it sounds like. We picked the 30 juiciest nuggets out of all the interviews, put them in a report, and it's just full of hit after hit. And then this one is actually really cool. We've got a crypto tax guide. Crypto taxes are, so what we did is we don't know about crypto taxes, but we got a crypto tax firm. This firm specializes in helping people prepare their taxes as crypto investors, and we had them put together a PDF for our buyers, and that's part of the package. So just tons of great intel and insight in there, a lot of answered questions. Okay, and then so that's the basic package, but also we're going to throw in a couple of extra bonus gifts for you. These are the last 2 things in the package, and we'll get to Q&A. The first is how to start trading NFTs. This is taught by Tyler Peterson, who you met in the series. He's the guy I was talking about earlier that's making 500% every 2 weeks trading NFTs. This is a one-to-one interview with him that's going to show you how you can start trading NFTs, where the big money NFTs are, for people to follow on Twitter to get in early on hot NFT projects, how to get paid to play computer games. There's much more, all the NFT and metaverse related stuff we've talked about, plus the NFT quick start guide. And this is everything about how to buy, sell, trade, even create NFTs. And so it builds on what Tyler shares. And it's just, this could easily be a standalone product by itself, but we're throwing it in whenever you purchase the series. So I think we're going to throw up a chart for you right now that kind of compares the different offers. Basically, we have a couple of packages, but as low as $107 gets you unfettered access to Uncensored Crypto. Or if you choose the platinum option, you get all the bonuses above. And yeah, that's that. All you've got to do to take advantage of this offer is go to uncensoredcrypto.com/go. That's GO as in like go. All right. And with that said, head over to uncensoredcrypto.com/go to check out the packages. And with that said, let's dive in and get some Q&A going. What kind of questions do we have out there? Let's see. Shauna, I'm not sure how you guys are going to feed me questions, but I'm ready to go. Oh.
Can you see the chat, Michael?
I do.
Yes,
do I need to scroll through it? There's like 10,000 comments. Oh, Q&A only. There's a tab. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you discuss safe wallets? Yes, I can. Oh, and Shauna, don't let me forget. Let me answer a few questions, and then let's make sure that we announce the winners.
Yeah.
All right, safe wallets. Yes, so MetaMask is a very popular wallet. A lot of wallet safety is going to depend on you, right? So if you keep your seed phrase and your passwords secure, if you don't, write them in an unencrypted file on your hard drive, if you don't, share them with someone, if you don't leave, them laying on your desk or taped them to the bottom of your keyboard or do something other like dumb that compromises security. A lot of these wallets are safe. MetaMask is a popular one for the Ethereum network. It can be beefed up to deal with other cryptocurrencies, but it's primarily for Ethereum. It's got a good reputation. If you want the safest crypto wallets, you're going to have to look at a hardware wallet. It's a USB drive device that whenever you unplug it, there's an air gap between it and the internet. There's no power to the device, so it's impossible for someone to hack it without getting physical access to it. So that's your highest form of security. There are a couple of well-known brands out there. Ledger is one, Trezor is another one. And as long as you follow their best practices, you have a very secure wallet there. So let's see. All right, we got the wallet. Got how can an NFT be your medical record or token? Well, these questions are coming in fast. Yes, it can be. And matter of fact, I think that's a future use case. I think NFTs could potentially be used for your identity, kind of like the way a driver's license works out. Instead of whipping out your driver's license, you whip out your NFT. It's got your driver's license, maybe your concealed carry. It's got your medical marijuana. It's got your medical records. You can share your private information with a doctor and revoke access. All of those things are going to be done, I think, through NFTs. And I think NFTs are gonna really unlock a lot of the potential here, because identity and this kind of data aspect of things are still a problem and a challenge. All right. Thoughts on Filecoin? I haven't done a deep dive on it the way I did on these others tonight. However, it is a well-known crypto. I think it's got a really cool use case. And probably worth looking into. Let's see, if the trend of countries that want to have their exclusive crypto, such as China, continues, how would Bitcoin survive that, especially if the US follows suit? That's a good question. And I think it's part of the uncertainty that's out there. We've got President Biden, who is going to release his executive order on cryptocurrencies. Seems like he may be taking kind of like an anti-crypto stance. That said, like, he's not a dictator, so he doesn't necessarily get everything that he wants. And there are people in Congress who are working to allow the U.S. to take part in this crypto opportunity where trillions are going to be created. But I would say that as we move to central bank digital currencies, which is a very likely outcome, it's almost certain that these central banks are going to want to have their own cryptos and the functionalities that come with it. Bitcoin then becomes that store of value, I think, much the way that precious metals have been historically, because it gives you the same benefits as gold, for example, as in that exists outside of the fiat currency system. Its value is not tied to Fed policy, although I guess you could argue that there is a relationship there. So I see Bitcoin actually becoming more valuable in that situation because it exists outside of these more manipulated financial markets. Yeah, we just touched on the Biden executive order. Unless it came out this afternoon, I hadn't seen anything come out of there. It's all rumors right now, so I'm definitely paying attention. I do think that the government will create a digital currency. It'll be a central bank digital currency. I think that we are still a capitalist economy in the West, and the government, thank God, does not have the power to just unilaterally shut us down in this space. And if they do, they're going to have a real conundrum on their hands whenever they get showed to the entire world to be incapable of stopping this. So I think that they're weighing the pros and cons. I think they're going to want to capture tax revenue from it. I think they're going to want their CBDC to have the same functionality. But if they try to ban crypto in the US, it's not going to stop crypto. It's just going to send it overseas. And that will mean that US citizens miss out on all the money-making opportunities. That's going to piss us off. They're worried they're not going to get reelected. So that's the logical argument that I have. But hey, never underestimate the stupidity a politician might possess. All right, let's see. Is now a good time to invest in crypto? It seems to be climbing back up. Some say it'll drop again. Should we wait or invest? I have some coins Bitcoin specifically, that I try to dollar cost average into. That said, right now, I've got most of my money that's not already invested sitting in stablecoin, Tether to be specific, waiting to see which way the price action is going to break. So, I think what I'm hearing is 39,000 or so is a key resistance level. If we break that to the upside, then we've got 45,000 or so is the next key resistance level that I'm hearing, 42 to 45, depending on who you listen to. And if it breaks to the downside, then I'm hearing that it could go down and test even the high 20s. So I'm watching and waiting right now to see where the price action leads. If you're just looking though to get long-term exposure, you're buying and holding your crypto. If you're a hodler, then hey, it's as good a time as it's always a good time to buy crypto if you're a long-term investor. Tongue in cheek, right? Slight exaggeration there. Probably sometimes it's not. Yep. All right. How do you mint an NFT? That is a fantastic question, and actually something that we cover in our NFT startup guide. It's kind of complicated, so I'm not going to get into it right now, frankly, because I need to go read up on it myself. Like no fake guru here. I'm learning right alongside of you guys. And actually diving into these cryptos that I shared tonight was really cool, because I discovered that having done the interviews and been, watching the series along with you, I was actually able to look at these cryptos and hopefully make some intelligent judgments based on what I learned. All right. So that said, let's just say again, like, hey, we are the Uncensored Crypto World Premiere Special Offer is still open. I am going to take it down Sunday night, midnight Pacific. After that, this offer's off the table. I mean, we'll obviously not going to hold the series back forever, but we're going to, go to a little rest and recovery because this launch has been fantastic. But we need to do a little rest and recovery. So last chance to buy ends at Sunday night. These are your packages. Support the project, get some free bonuses, all those good things. And it's at uncensoredcrypto.com/go if you want to check it out, what all is included. All right, so that said, Shauna, I think you had it right. It's about time that we jump in and announce our first winner. So let me actually pull up my spreadsheet here that has all the details. So we had the Easter egg contest, and it was won by Nikki Kincaid. So we had a number of you who found all 5 of the episodes, all 5 of the Easter eggs. And here they are on the screen from episode 1. When I saw that one, when Richie sent me that over, I almost spit my coffee out. It was so funny. We've got the guy in the background from episode 3, the Silk Road book from episode 5, the Cryptonomicon book from episode 7, and then we've got the Bitcoin white paper in the background from episode 9. So those were the 5 Easter eggs, and we hopefully had a lot of fun looking for those. But like I said, Nikki Kincaid was the first one to find it. So congratulations, Nikki. We're going to send you an email. I know you're in London, so it's probably pretty late there. You're probably asleep right now. But when you wake up, you'll be happy to learn that you have won. All right. So let's see. Let's dive back into a few more questions here, and we'll see what we can get into. And then we'll come back around and talk about the other prizes. Oh, Nikki, you are here. Congratulations. Oh, that's so exciting. That I love it. I love it. I've so been looking forward to this. The Easter egg idea was one of the first ideas I had when I started mapping out what I wanted this series to include. So I'm a dork, but it's fun. And again, congrats, Nikki. Really exciting. All right. How do you buy the stable coin that Dr. Weiss mentioned, which earns about 20% for the past year? I remember him talking about that coin. And I do remember it was like a 19.5% annual yield. Can someone on the team, if you're listening, look at what that coin name was? I just it's escaping me right now. So if you get it, drop it in a Slack message to me. Let's see. Is minting photographs into NFTs a thing? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Both on just like a pure like cool, like, hey, here's an NFT of a photo of us. So things that aren't really designed for like monetization, more like socialization. There are tools that make it really easy to mint an NFT from a photo. But if you're talking about like art, like high level photography, absolutely massive opportunity for high level photographers who are artists in their own right to create NFTs and to potentially make way more money than you can as a local photographer. So when I think about the opportunity for artists that exist inside of NFTs, it gets me really excited. It's one of the reasons why our NFT guide doesn't just talk about how to buy them and sell them. It talks about how to create them as well. And it's actually something that Richie, who is our video guy, if you watch some of our live events, you met him. So he's a former break dancer. He's done it professionally, traveled the world, just an amazingly cool dude on top of that. But he's got videos of him break dancing that we're gonna, well, he's in the process, and hopefully I'm gonna get to do a little bit of an assist there, help him turn them into NFTs, because it's just a good opportunity for artists. So yeah, get those photos into NFTs. Let's see, is there just one wallet you can use for NFTs, DeFi's, and Metaverse? So yes and no. Is there one wallet that you can use for all of these different sectors? Absolutely. In fact, like it's possibly the most common way for people to engage with crypto is through a centralized exchange like Binance or Coinbase or KuCoin or Kraken or Gemini. In my experience, Coinbase has the broadest coin selection, but I don't like their user interface as much because I can't. Maybe I just haven't figured it out yet, but it's got a really wide selection in DeFi, metaverse gaming, coins as well. NFTs, you're probably going to want to use a MetaMask wallet for that. It's an Ethereum. Most NFTs are Ethereum based, so you're probably going to use your Ethereum wallet for that. But it's one of the things that creates opportunity here is that there's a little bit of a challenge for getting involved with these things. That whenever the tech becomes so easy that grandma can use it, and no offense, grandmas, I think you should absolutely use this and you're capable of it. But sorry, I got distracted by a new question coming in. Yeah. So one trading platform is not quite there. We're not quite there. But as far as NFTs go, probably the biggest, one of the bigger markets is OpenSea. That's OPENSEA, as in like the ocean type of sea, not the look sea. Let's see. Do you have any live training events for members? Yes, we will. We will absolutely have live training events. Some of them are already planned. Some of them are free. Some of them are going to be paid, and those will obviously be a little bit more in depth. But absolutely, one of the things that I've been blown away with was just the community. I mean, you guys and ladies, the support, the encouragement, the kind words, just the enthusiasm was amazing. And so we want to capture that magic over and over again, both with new series, live events, both digital and hopefully in the real world we can even get together sometime. But lots of opportunities. All right. Oh, I love it. A lot of peer support in here, which brings up a good point, which is we have a Discord server. And that's a resource that if you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out. It's peer-to-peer support. So there's a DeFi segment in there. There's a gaming and metaverse segment. There's NFTs. And these are places where you can go in, you can ask questions, you can share ideas, you can basically mastermind and collaborate to identify good opportunities, share intel. I mean, we've had people who, when we were doing live Ask Me Anythings like this on Discord after the episodes, and half the time I wouldn't have to answer a question because somebody who was on the call knew the answer and could answer it better than I can. So that's one of the reasons that I share the Discord community with you, because eventually we're going to wrap up, but that will hopefully, God willing, be available to you forever to go in there and ask your questions. There's no stupid questions. There's probably some rookie questions, but that's okay. This is such a new and nascent technology that nobody's going to look at you funny if you don't know the answers yet. Trust me. Awesome. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate the kind words. Best book on crypto. Ooh, that's a good question. I wish I had an answer to that one. Would you suggest trading using a decentralized system like Thorchain? So versus a centralized system like Coinbase. The decentralized systems are going to give you access to a lot of the smaller coins. I mean, even some of the coins that I mentioned tonight are available on decentralized exchanges and not on centralized exchanges. So that's just part of the process and part of the opportunity, right? Is the fact that you're gonna have to do just a little bit of legwork, but pace yourself. You can figure it out. The advantages of going decentralized is that you have access to all of the universe of available cryptos out there. The downside is that you are 100% responsible for your coins. If you screw something up and you lose them, it's on you. There's no FDIC, there's no bank to call. So that's one of the downsides. The downside on the flip side of that, though, is if Coinbase decides that they want to hold your crypto and not give it back to you, they can do that, which would be an unlikely scenario. But let's say that the government told them to freeze your coins, they would do it. Trust me. So you lose some of the sovereignty and control by going with a centralized exchange, but you also eliminate risk. Anyways, I'm kind of talking in circles now. What are names of some of the games? We do share 2 more games in the series. I mean, the big ones out there are, like Axie Infinity, and I think that's probably the most popular play to earn game out there. Sand and Decentraland are big ones. Those aren't the specific picks I'm sharing in our report because a lot of the opportunity in those has already happened, right? So, but if you're looking for like a kind of what you would call the blue chips of the gaming space, those are them. Let's see, what's the cool speech from in the intro of each episode? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I thought surely this is some president or some like famous person, but it's like some guy who just did a speech. But it was really good, right? So somebody knows. Let's see. Real estate in the metaverse. Yeah, it's absolutely a trend that I think is only going to get bigger. It's an interesting concept. I think that creating scarcity in a potentially infinite imaginary world is kind of an interesting experiment. So when we start getting into that, I have people that forward me opportunities on virtual real estate. Half the time I don't have time to look into them because we are running this business and trying to provide value to everybody. But I do think that it's a trend that is at least here for the short term, and we shall see what happens with it in the long term. But I do know there are people making good short-term gains with real estate there, and they're really big companies putting big money into it. So when you see that, there's the law of big numbers, right? Which is like the more money that goes into it, the less likely it is for it to fail, because there are too many people that have too much to lose. Pax Gold, I haven't dug into that. It sounds like a cool project. I'm kind of curious about how, it's backed by gold is what I understand. It's kind of an interesting mix of the old and the new school. But I don't really have a strong rec on it, whether it's a good investment or not. I think that gold I don't know. I love Austrian economics, so gold is like a sacred thing in that world. However, you can't buy shoes off of Amazon with gold. And so it's kind of constrained. It has a unique place in the asset class allocation, if you want to put it that way. And my take on it is, if we ever get to the point where you're buying groceries with gold, things have gotten so bad that bullets might be more valuable than gold. All right, so that's my take on that. Let's see. Oh man, lots of great questions coming in. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break and let's announce the second winner real quick. So real quick, guys, like I'm kind of obliged. I gotta push the sale on this webinar a little bit, but just want to mention, if you do want to invest in the series, we do have a lot of great educational content. A lot of the questions we're diving into now are answered and in the series, as well as the bonuses that we put together for you. You can grab a package at uncensoredcrypto.com/go. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at the next winner. Pull up my spreadsheet here. All right, let's talk about the person with the most entries. So one of the contests was the viral sharing contest. I think it was powered by a software called Gleam. Anyways, it had you like join the Discord server, tweet about us. There was all these cool ways that get entries, and whoever got the most entries wins $2,500 in crypto. And I'm not sure if we said that was going to be Ethereum or what, but the winner is Jason Weaver, Jason Wever from Calgary, Canada, Alberta, Canada. So congratulations, Jason. You are the winner of $2,500 in crypto. We will send you an email with details, getting your wallet address and all the things that we need to get you your crypto. So congratulations. And thank you for your support. Sharing it made a big difference in this series. Everybody that shared it, I was blown away by the number of people who came in just from sharing. So thank you all. And congratulations, Jason. So we've got one more winner that we're going to announce here in a little bit, another $2,500 winner. This one is someone who was selected as a random person out of all the people who signed up for the series. So we'll get into that in just a second, right after we answer some questions. All right, I'm going to try to get through as many of these. I love that you guys are congratulating the winners. I love the esprit de corps, the camaraderie, the community that's part of this crypto space. So love to see it here. It's all about the guns and butter, baby. That's interesting. Anchor protocol safe. I'm wondering if that Anchor protocol may be the one that Martin Weiss mentioned. But I have heard of that one, and it's escaping me right now. But I do believe it's one of the better platforms for getting yield. Met with a company today who is funding the Zillow of the metaverse. Oh, that's cool. Amy's got a lead on some cool projects out there. Best platform for raising capital for a development project. So, great question. I love that this question is being asked. One of the reasons I made the series was to inspire entrepreneurs to create cool new crypto projects that solve real problems, that advance the industry. So hearing this question really makes me happy. I would say the best opportunity for developers right now are decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs. I think creating a DAO is going to give you a few things. One, when you launch a coin, it's going to give you a capital infusion. But more important really than even that is the human capital. So these crypto projects are driven by human capital, the individual contributors and creators, the coders, the marketers, the founders and the leaders, the accountants. Like these are the people that make crypto projects go and grow and sustain. And so a decentralized autonomous organization is a loose organization of people who share a common vision and work together towards it in exchange for a percentage of the DAO itself. And then what that usually winds up meaning is that the DAO itself issues a token, and people exchange, Ethereum, Bitcoin, stable coins, whatever, in exchange for that DAO's token. And then that becomes the capital pool that funds the rest of the growth. So there's that. And then if you want to get, like, if you're looking at Reg CFs, Reg A offerings in the US, those are tremendous opportunities, but you're going to spend $50,000 to $150,000 in legal fees to get one set up. So the DAO route is really accessible. I think Aragon, ARAGON, is a DAO platform. There's the Seed Club, which is another DAO platform. These are organizations that help you set up a DAO without having to start from scratch. So worth checking out. Can I trade from MetaMask the way I can from Coinbase? Are the fees higher? The fees are going to depend on gas fees. Yes, you can trade from MetaMask the way you can from Coinbase. You would do that through a decentralized exchange, something like a Uniswap, or like a Sushi Swap. So you can use your MetaMask wallet that way. And the fees, again, are gonna vary. All right. What the hell is real estate in the metaverse? Exactly. So to answer that, it is really a really honest question, right? And to some degree, I scratch my head about this one in particular. But just like in the real world, that you can acquire a piece of real estate on Main Street and you can build a building on it, inside of these metaverses like Decentraland or Sandbox, there is real estate that you can purchase, and then you can build digital assets on top of it. Now, my prediction is that, like, there's going to be a duplicate of most real world businesses in the metaverse. And that those businesses in the metaverse are actually going to turn a profit. That profit's going to be in crypto. So maybe there'll be a metaverse where, let's talk about what I do, right? Movies, right? I make films. There might be a metaverse movie theater where you go and you watch movies, and you'll buy a ticket to it, and there'll be a community element associated with that, and so you'll be able to interact with other people who have the NFT for the same movie that you're watching. So that this, though, is kind of the big broad concept of real estate in the metaverse. And so these assets in some of these metaverses, that they actually cap the amount of land that's available. So there's scarcity inside of that metaverse that drives value, supply and demand. This is something that's happening. As strange as it sounds, I do think like it does have a place in our future. I think we'll see more of this. And I think when you think about how much of our time we spend in the digital world, right now we're having a conversation in the metaverse. We're in different parts of the planet, but we're also in the same room. And so there's that. And it's a strange and brave new world. Let's see. Jason, sounds like a special you could put out. Yes. Definitely. I'm not sure exactly which one you're referring to, but Golden Weapons could be a series. But we're definitely putting out more series on DeFi and NFTs. Those are the two that are on the roadmap right now for this year. Love it. Anchor protocol, we already talked about that. Let's see, what else we got? Great series. I already saw that. live training events. Yes, on teaching how to do trading and technical analysis. Yeah, we actually have a master class. I think we're calling it something else, but it's essentially a 6-week live training that's going to come up. We're going to put it on at the end of February. It's going to be led by Walden and another gentleman, but for right now, that's on the books, but not available yet. So let's see. What were the blue chip games I mentioned earlier? Yeah, so it was the Sandbox and Decentraland. Let's see, what platform can you buy CLY on? I'd have to do a little bit of digging into that. It's probably on one of the decentralized exchanges. Let me Faraday products for EMP protections. Honestly, Robert, this exact same question, this same scenario came into my head. I'm picturing Faraday cages within Faraday cages to protect my crypto. I don't know. I'm not enough of a scientist to be able to tell how effective that would be, or if it even matters. I think, EMPs collect energy over long runs of wire. I think is probably one of the greatest risks. So if you have your hardware wallet disconnected, it seems like there'd probably be minimal risk there. However, the rest of the world, if we bombed ourselves back to the Stone Age, that's where gold and bullets might be valuable. Yeah, where do the high interest rates, high yields come from? So there are a lot of these platforms that algorithmically adjust the yield that they're paying out. Yeah, so for example, if there's a stable coin that is, let me think, how do I explain this? They basically adjust the yield that they're paying out. They raise it whenever they want to inspire people to stake and provide funds for liquidity, and they lower it whenever they want to encourage people to borrow. So the yields are algorithmically adjusted to inspire people to take part in this as either a borrower or a lender. So the yields are created that way. The reason they're so high right now is because the people who are in here, that's what attracts them. And so I think we will see the yields go down over time as more and more people get into DeFi. And yeah. I have a strong premonition that once fiat is gone and everybody has everything digital, something like an EMP would be dropped. Could absolutely be. I never underestimate, like I said, just how dumb our ruling class can be and how little they care about our well-being. So it's hard for me to say that governments don't commit atrocious acts whenever history tells a very different story. So, if they do decide to, bomb us back to the Stone Age, there's very little that you or I can do to control that. Let's see. Oh man, first time with crypto, I put $1,000 in. What coins should I invest in? So, good question. I can't really tell you that, like in the sense that I can't provide you with specific financial advice. What I can say is that I really liked what I think it was Daniel Conover said in the series, that if you have $1,000, put it into the top 10 cryptos, $100, $100, $100, $100. And that gives you exposure across all 10 of the top assets out there. They're the most stable. best established projects. So as far as risk goes, it's going to lower your risk by being in those. However, it's not going to give you the highest opportunity for appreciation, capital gains, or yield necessarily. So a lot of that depends on your risk profile and whether you're looking to just experiment with $1,000 or if you want to turn it into $1 billion. If you want to turn it into $1 billion, you're going to need to be both smart and lucky. Let's see, is UST going to have trouble with regulations in contrast with other stablecoins? I do remember hearing some news around this the other day, but I really don't have a good answer for you. All right, let me, I think we're, from Corey, Ivan's crypto course or other courses. No, we don't, I don't know who Ivan is. That's definitely not us. So from Cruz, thank you very much. It says really cool series, very well made and inspiring. Thank you. You know, where you find info on getting into crypto securely, we put together resources pretty much around the world premiere special offer to help you with those basics. And then in addition, Decentral Publishing is my site. It's part of the Uncensored Crypto Company. And we got like tons of just amazing content around the basics like this on that site. And we will be sharing some of that by email in the future. We're restructuring the site so that it's more user-friendly, but you know, it's, you know, so anyways, I say that there are resources available to you on Decentral Publishing to help with that. There's resources inside of our Discord server. And then obviously we try to provide the most value possible to our paying subscribers, right? Good deal. You're very welcome. You're welcome. All right, let's see. Lots of thank yous. You're very welcome. Let's go ahead and announce the final winner. Let's see. This is a random person that was selected out of everybody who signed up for the series. So drum roll, please. We selected Ruben Gutierrez. I apologize if I didn't get the name exactly right, but Ruben Gutierrez, you are the randomly selected winner of $2,500 in crypto. Oh, I love it. Thank you. I'm so glad that you guys got a value out of this. I mean, like I said, this is my first time doing a live training, and it's first time for me to share specific picks as well as why I think they're important. So thank you for the encouragement. It does mean a lot. Let's see. How do you access the Discord server? Shauna or someone, can you post a link in the chat to our Discord server, please? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Will your kit be good for beginners like me? Absolutely. And thank you. Yes. Yeah, I appreciate that. I try to just, you know, be authentic and as real as I can be. We're all kind of in this and learning together. Kit definitely good for beginners. And the cool thing about the world premiere is that, you know, right now, I know we do have thousands of people who've actually joined and purchased the series, but it's still as small as the community is ever going to be. So, you know, we're really looking at treating this as a beta user group and looking to provide additional value. So, you know, get in there, use the support functions, ask us questions, and, you know, that'll help us guide what new products we create to help serve you better as a beginner. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, they're so nice. Let's see, go over what we get again. Yeah, let me run through that real quick. I got it listed over here. So we've got lifetime access to all 9 uncensored crypto episodes, so you can watch them anytime, any place. transcripts of all the episodes. So that's your searchable PDFs where you can do a keyword search, or if you prefer to read, you can read the episodes. Audio only versions, MP3s for listening, without having to stream the video at the same time. This 10th Uncensored Crypto episode, which was all the actionable kind of how to get started trading tips. You get all 56 full-length uncut interviews. So, like I said, these interviews were anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours long. I think maybe we even had one that went 2.5 hours long. So all of those full-length interviews are in there. There's a lot of value to be found in those. And then we've got some reports that are these are written content, so that it's really accessible to you, and it gets like kind of the kind of nitty-gritty detail that we couldn't necessarily architect into the series. So since it wasn't scripted, Crypto Income Secrets is the first of those. It's all about earning yield that's higher than what the traditional financial services world offers. So this is where we start to get into yield farming and staking and those different opportunities. Then we've got 3 DeFi cryptos to watch in 2022. These are additional DeFi protocols that are just big opportunities. They're good players. 10 companies that could dominate the crypto revolution. These are this report tells you about stocks that have exposure to crypto. So publicly traded companies that you can hold in your stock portfolio that can still benefit from the crypto trend. So this, it might be useful, say, in your 401k or a retirement plan where you can't necessarily move it over to crypto. Then we took the 30 best, biggest takeaways from the series. We put it all into one document, and that's there for you. It's pretty much the best of the best out of all the experts. And then we got a crypto tax firm to create a PDF on the crypto tax guide. So it creates a lot of clarity around how cryptos are going to be taxed and how they're advising their clients to deal with them. Let's see. We've got the How to Start Trading NFTs bundle, which is taught by Tyler, who's making 500% every 2 weeks or so on NFTs. All about it, how to get into the pay to play. I'm saying that backwards. Play to earn games, as well as a quick start guide on how to create, buy, sell, trade, and earn NFTs. And then kind of the cherry on top is my 9 hypergrowth cryptos report for 2022 that reveals the top 3 picks of my top 3 picks in DeFi, NFTs, and the metaverse and gaming. So all of that is available through this Sunday night. And then at midnight Pacific, we're going to actually pull everything down, take a little break, and then circle back around, and we'll start re-engaging with you to see how we can continue to provide value and continue to serve you. All right. Yeah, Crypto Market Cap is a great tool. So if you want to use that, Sue shared that Crypto Market Cap to find out where to buy CLY. That's the place I would have gone. Let's see from Nicole. How do we join? Which link? So it's uncensoredcrypto.com/go. So uncensoredcrypto.com/GO. And that'll give you an overview of everything and give you a recap of what's included. Question from Nicole. Do you give members specific cryptos you're interested? Yes. Yes, absolutely. A report or right now our specific crypto picks are in reports that explain why, kind of give you an overview of the industry as well as some of the analysis like we talked about. I bought the series, but I missed episode 10. Is episode 10 included in the gold member package? I believe so. I can find out. But I think it's included in the gold package. Unfortunately, I a lot of this stuff I haven't seen in a while. So let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, absolutely, it is included. I was going to say, I mean, a lot of the work in the company doesn't get done directly by me. So sometimes the details are more clear to my team than they are to me. But yeah, I would have been surprised if we didn't include bonus episode 10 in the package, and it is included in the gold package. Long answer to a short question. All right, keep the questions coming in. If you want, I'm going to go. We had some people who submitted questions before the series. I'm going to jump in here and start to answer some of them. So if I understand this correctly, there's not one blockchain, but several, all storing information and value. They're linked together. Are able to transfer information and values through exchanges. Which exchanges today do you see leading? Yeah, there's the centralized exchanges, and I still think that Coinbase is probably the 800-pound gorilla in that competition. But Binance is obviously a big player internationally. But if you're talking about decentralized exchanges, I think Uniswap, SushiSwap are obviously big hits in the space. But actually, one of my favorite DeFi picks is a DEX. So that's in the free report that you get when you purchase the series. Is it possible to start an NFT brand, sell an entire collection, and then sell the business? Absolutely. Yeah, I love where your head's at. Yeah, these are assets on many levels. So you can build an NFT company that will, hire artists, that will hire developers and techs to do some of the development if needed. If you want to build functionality in, for example. And all of those people can work for a C corporation. That C corporation can sell NFTs. You can build smart contracts in there that provide a royalty back to the company. And then those assets over time show up on your balance sheet as well as your income statement. And then you're able to, establish a valuation for your business, and you can exit, whether that's to a private equity investment bank or a public offering. So these are all options inside of crypto and the NFT space. So that was a really great question in my book. Best altcoin. Oh, too tough of a question. I think we picked those earlier. How would I define Bitcoin, as money or as a protocol? Wow. I think it is both. I think it's both the store of value and a network is the way that I look at it. Because it is a decentralized mesh network that is worldwide, and people are building on top of that, like on top of Lightning, for example, as layer 2 and layer 3 solutions. If my regular bank offers a crypto account, should I sign up? And if so, will it be FDIC insured? That you would have to ask your bank. I do know that banks are starting to offer their private wealth clients crypto, but I doubt that it is FDIC insured, but you'll have to ask them. Could there be a centralized metaverse and a decentralized one? I think that is exactly what will happen. The Facebooks and the Twitters and the big Web2 companies are going to try to play to dominate the metaverse, and they'll probably make it a closed ecosystem so you can't share things between, because they each want to have their little fiefdoms and their control. But there are going to be decentralized metaverses that are open, and you can take NFTs from one metaverse to another, and I think that's ultimately what's going to win out there in the marketplace. Safest method of managing digital wallet. I mean, keep your keys, keep your private key secure, keep your seed phrase secure. One of the things that I've seen people do is, if you've got a 12-word or a 24-word seed phrase, you split that up into groups, and you give, say, like one part of your seed word phrase to one person, put another one somewhere else, so that your entire seed phrase is never in the same place. Also heard of people who, if you have a 12 or 24-word seed phrase, they'll write down the first 11 words and memorize the 12th word, or write down the first 23 words and memorize the 24th word. That was actually something I heard about this morning. And I thought, hey, that's a really good idea. Bitcoin mining, language is important. How can Bitcoin mining continue once the last Bitcoin is mined, minted, extracted? It physically can't continue. Yes, absolutely. That's correct, and a good question. Yep. All right, just finished reading that question. Essentially, what's going to happen is in 120 or so years, the last Bitcoin will be mined, and the primary value of Bitcoin mining, the miners that they will provide at that point in time is, they'll continue to secure the network, hash things, add blocks to the blockchain, all of those things. But instead of being incentivized by mining and getting Bitcoins for rewards, they will make network fees. So transaction fees will at that point theoretically be enough to sustain the infrastructure and keep the network secure. And keeping in mind that, like, if in 120 years, if the thesis plays out, Bitcoin will be ubiquitous. It will probably be the currency of the world. You won't pay $2 for a loaf of bread. You'll pay 2 Satoshis, fractions of a Bitcoin. So that's the theory there. All right. If Bitcoin is abandoned, will the other networks survive? Good question. I do think that if Bitcoin were to go down, it would deal a devastating blow to the crypto ecosystem. However, I'm still of the mindset that this technology it's inevitable. It's not going anywhere. And if Bitcoin were to kind of go the way of gold, sorry, gold bugs, but if it were to become less relevant, I think that the other technologies are still groundbreaking. The blockchain and distributed ledger technologies are so groundbreaking, and their applications in the web they're going to be massive. So yeah, I think we would still be fine. If blockchain stored the entire history forever, will we run out of space? No, basically because the storage and the technology becomes more efficient over time, so it can keep up. If crypto is decentralized now, how can it become a currency when whales like Elon manipulate the price? I think that's simply a stage of where a consequence of the stage we're at in the market. There aren't a whole lot of people who actually know what we know after having, been through the Uncensored Crypto series journey, and so they're purely degen investors. They're just going after whatever the most popular coin of the day is. They're not analyzing the team. They're not analyzing the tokenomics. They're just degenning into something that they think is going to give them a short-term yield gain. How do you take part in free NFT drops? That's in our NFT guide. Will the metaverse increase the quantity and importance of Bitcoin? There's got to be some relationship there. I think we'll see how that plays out. Will Web3 affect the use of Ethereum and the gas fees they charge as layer 2 has become far cheaper? Yeah, absolutely. One of the picks that we shared tonight was a layer 2 on top of Ethereum that's, no gas fees and almost instant transactions. So I do think, though, that ETH 2.0 is probably, if it ever actually comes to fruition, will also have a similar effect. How do you separate the noise from what's real as a beginner when there's so much info out there in crypto? Great question. At this point in time, you have to have a little bit of trust with someone. You know, so again, like we're here trying to be a trusted source. I don't think that we should be your only source of intel and information and education. However, I hope to be a good source for that. And I think it's just a case of buyer beware, double check. If you see something, verify it in more than one source, and make sure they're not all like, you know, doing the circular reporting that happens today where they're all reporting and regurgitating something that's all from the same source. So there is that. And then won't the crypto exchanges be the new gatekeepers? Yeah. The centralized ones will be, absolutely. All right, so those were the pre-submitted questions. I'm going to jump back over here to the chat. Okay. When will the private community membership shown on the purchase become available? We are working to set that group up. I think we'll have, I would say, give us through the end of this week to get things like that dialed in. Purchasing or investing in any of this using credit cards. Ooh, I mean, I have used credit cards to start businesses in the past. I can't recommend that to anyone. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. And purchasing digital assets on a credit card, it's risky. It increases your risk significantly, I think. And especially if you're using credit cards to purchase cryptos because you don't have savings to put into cryptos. That to me suggests that you're really entering into some dangerous territory. And while I understand the impulse and the desire to take part and increase your improve your situation financially, I just couldn't with good conscience say like use credit cards to buy crypto. But hey, there are people out there that do it. It's done. All right. When does it ship? Actually, so when you purchase either the gold or the platinum package, it's all digitally delivered. So what will happen is my team will send you an email. It'll have a link to a members area and a username and a password. So just go there, enter the information, and all of the series episodes, all the interviews, all the PDFs and reports and stuff will all be inside of that members area. But there's actually no shipping, so you won't have to wait for anybody to anything to show up in the mail. What effect do you think today's government regulation talks on? Okay, yeah, I think it's already creating a lot of uncertainty out there. And but it remains to be seen what happens. I think government regulations can harm the performance of crypto, but I don't think it can stop the adoption. But like I said earlier, it can, like say if the US banned crypto tomorrow, which I don't think they could or they will, then it wouldn't stop crypto. It would just move all of that opportunity to a different country, and it would harm the U.S. economy as a result. And so I don't see that happening. Let's see.
Read the whole question out loud. I don't know what question you're answering.
Okay. I'm getting feedback that I need to read the question out loud, that nobody knows what I'm answering. My bad. First time mistake, rookie. How often do you update the Crypto Growth Accelerator for members? Oh, you just joined. Awesome. Welcome to the party, Nicole. So right now it's going to be a live training. I think we'll probably wind up doing that maybe 2 to 4 times a year. but on an ongoing basis, as part of being that a member of that accelerator, there are ongoing leads on different crypto projects like we're talking about tonight. Like we're constantly looking for new projects, and those will be announced inside of that group. So ongoing support there. Musical instruments as NFTs. That is interesting. I would say that we'll see that kind of stuff. I think we'll see that, especially when we start talking about like the different like collections, right? So one of the cool things that's out there in the NFT space is there's the ability to combine and to mash up NFTs to create a new, unique new NFT. And one of the groups that I've talked with about NFTs actually has created NFTs that can own other NFTs. So you might have a character who played the musical instrument, and that musical instrument would be an NFT, and that whenever you joined it, with the character NFT, then it would morph into a new NFT of that character playing the trombone or whatever it is. So I see most of the physical world being duplicated in the metaverse. How do you go forward in crypto world anonymously and privately? Only Pirate Chain and Monero. So privacy is one of these areas where I don't think it's being valued the way that it should be today, but it will see its day, hopefully not as a result of a really negative event. But anonymity and privacy in the crypto world is not as easy to achieve as you would expect. There are many layers to it that include like the physical hardware, the IP address, those kind of things that give away your identity to some degree. Those are the hard things to hide. But with tools like Monero and Pirate Chain, I think there's a Tornado Cash out there for Ethereum. There are these mixers and these, Zcash is another one. These are privacy coins that help to make transactions less traceable back to you, which is, depending on, what your worldview is, can be a really valuable thing. If you're concerned about the government maybe putting you on a list because you buy a certain type of product. So good question. If we purchase the Platinum pack tonight, can we get in the private membership? Unfortunately, I think we did shut down at least part of that last Sunday night. There was an expiration on it, but we do have the Discord community that is always going to be available, and we will likely reopen up that that initial beta members group in the future. We just really wanted to provide a hands-on, like small group that we could interact with at a very like kind of deeper level in order to help us really refine the product and the members area and provide additional services. So, but we will be opening that back up, and I do think we'll probably, when I think about a paid Discord channel, my only question is, and my only concern really is making sure that the value that you receive out of it is more than the cost, right? So, assuming we're able to meet those criteria, then absolutely, yeah, we'll have more private paid Discord groups. It's done. All right, what would a safe computer be to maintain privacy? Well, oh gosh, I mean, you're definitely going to want to keep your antivirus up to date. Be aware of phishing. A safe computer, though, is going to be something that's up to date, that's got antivirus, probably a virtual private network running on it, and strong passwords. Don't use the same password for everything. Basic internet and computer security practices are going to go a long way to keeping you secure there. If you really, really want to be private, then you can always boot into Tails OS. It's an anonymous operating system on a thumb drive. You can boot to it from a lot of computers, and it accesses, you can have VPNs in there. You can access the web through the Onion protocol, through the Tor browser. You can have a wallet set up on that. So that can be a completely anonymous and private environment to operate within. Just know that there are some technical hurdles that you're going to have to overcome to achieve that. All right. So just real quick, again, uncensoredcrypto.com/GO is where you can go to secure lifetime access to the series, as well as the bonuses that answer a lot of these questions that we're jumping in here. And again, we got, platinum package is the best deal in my opinion, but there's also a gold package that's available there. So let's see, let me get back to these questions. Jamie, I'm part of the platinum group on Sunday evening. What is the Discord group? And so Jamie, I'm gonna have my team send out information about that to you by email. So Shauna or Victoria, if either of you could take a note to pass on to Kristen over in support. Let's get out an email to the people who signed up for the platinum package before Sunday night that has a link over to the private Discord community. All right, just a comment from Simon. It's 4 a.m. here in Germany. I was determined to listen. For the first time, you can be really proud of yourself. Awesome. You're very natural and confident. Thank you. Came across honest and believable. Integrity and transparency, not pretending to know all the answers. I'm telling you, you guys are gonna give me a positive self-identity. This is great stuff. I'm sure I have a lot of success in helping people. Especially as this obviously comes over as your genuine passion. Yes. Respect and congratulations, because you certainly earned it. Thank you. Well done and hats off. Natural talent. Just reading this, I'm getting edified here. Additionally, I hope you never lose your sense of humor. It's priceless, and it certainly eases everyone up a lot. Okay, I love it. Thank you so much, Simon. I really appreciate you staying up so late just to jump on and listen to me, and I'm glad that was worth it to you. Thank you so much for your kind words. It really does mean a lot. All right, I think we've actually made our way through all of the questions. Thank you, Joe, as well. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you, Amber. All right. Any other questions coming in? If not, then I think we can probably start to wind down. Just thank you all so much, really. This has been the most important work I've ever done, and I've gone and thrown myself into it at a level that I've never thrown myself into anything before. And it's just been incredibly rewarding, and it just keeps piling up with your compliments. So thank you all so much. Again, we do have a couple of really great packages for you. It's over at uncensoredcrypto.com/go. This packages will be up through Sunday night, this coming Sunday night at midnight Pacific. After that, we're going to take it down and take a break for a little while. Yeah, with that said, thank you. It's because of you that I did this series. It's because of you that I'm doing this training tonight. And you've just made it a really rewarding experience. And I look forward to a long future together as we continue to explore and expand on this crypto space. With that said, good night, everybody, and we'll see you soon. All right, I think we're going to end now.